My friend, let's talk about something that silently walks into a man's life, often without noise, and then one day it shouts. That thing is high blood pressure. It's quiet, almost polite at first. It doesn't knock on your door. It doesn't announce itself with pain. It just slips in, like a thief that knows exactly when you're too busy to notice. And you go about your day. You wake up, wash your face, maybe take your tea or coffee, go to work, talk with friends, and you feel fine. Maybe just a little tired, a little heavier than usual, but you brush it off. Then one day, maybe at a clinic or during a routine check, someone wraps that cuff around your arm, presses a button, and says softly, "Sir, your blood pressure is high." And in that moment, everything stops. I've seen it so many times. That quiet moment, the man just stares, maybe forces a little smile, maybe says, it's just stress." But you can see it in his eyes, the fear, the confusion, the disbelief. Then comes that silence, that long, heavy pause where the room feels too small. And finally, he looks down and says in a calm, almost broken voice, "I'll pray about it." And I understand that moment, more than you might think. Because when something happens inside your own body, something you can't see or touch or fix by willpower, it shakes you. You start to feel betrayed by your own heart, your own veins, your own strength. So naturally, you reach for the thing that has never failed you, your faith. You whisper a prayer, hoping it will pass, that the numbers will come down, that it was just a bad day. For some men, that prayer is the only way they know how to fight fear. For others, it's hope. It's courage. It's that quiet voice that says, "I've survived worse. I'll be fine." And there's nothing wrong with that, because prayer brings peace. It brings strength. It's the anchor that keeps your spirit from sinking when the storm hits. But my friend, there's a line, a very thin, dangerous line, between what prayer can calm and what a doctor must treat before it's too late. And many men cross that line without realizing it. They mistake calmness for healing, peace for progress. They feel fine, so they think they're fine, until one day they're not. And that's why we need to talk, man to man, heart to heart, about this silent visitor called high blood pressure. Because it doesn't care about how strong you are, how much you pray, or how good you feel today. It works quietly, until one day it doesn't. Now let's make something very clear, my friend. When people hear high blood pressure, it sounds like a fancy medical thing, something only doctors or pharmacists truly understand. But the truth is, it's not that complicated. Let's strip away the big words and talk man to man. Your blood pressure is simply the push of blood inside your body, the force your heart uses to send blood through your veins and arteries. You can imagine your heart like a water pump. Every time it beats, it pumps life, blood, to every corner of your body. Your eyes, your brain, your muscles, even that strength that makes you stand tall, all of it depends on that steady flow. Now, in a healthy system, the pump works with ease. The pipes, your arteries, are flexible, open, smooth. Blood flows like water through a clean hose. But when your blood pressure starts to rise, it's like that hose becoming narrower, stiffer, harder. Your heart has to pump harder to push blood through. And over time, that constant pushing, that pressure, starts to damage the very pipes keeping you alive. Here's what most people don't realize. High blood pressure doesn't happen in one day. It builds slowly like rust on metal. At first, you don't see it. You feel fine. You think, "I'm okay." You go about your day, take your salt, miss your sleep, maybe skip your walks, and the numbers quietly climb. And that's why it's called the silent killer. Because it doesn't announce itself with pain in the early stage. No fever, no visible wound, no bleeding. Just quiet damage. Tiny cracks forming inside your arteries. Your heart working overtime. Your kidneys straining to filter your blood. Your brain slowly feeling the pressure build in its tiny vessels. Until one day, boom, it shows itself in the worst possible way. A stroke that steals your speech. A heart attack that leaves your loved ones crying. A kidney that just can't clean anymore. All from a condition that you thought was just stress. And that's the danger. Because when there are no symptoms, many men ignore it. They say, "If I'm not in pain, I'm fine." But the truth is, by the time you start feeling something, the damage has already begun. I've seen men who were as strong as lions, never missed a day of work, never complained, come into the hospital after suddenly collapsing at home. Their wives say, "He never said he was sick, doctor." And I have to look down and whisper, "He didn't know." So let me tell you right now, don't wait for pain to tell you what pressure is already whispering. Don't wait for a sign. High blood pressure doesn't talk loud. It works silently in the background. Every single day you ignore it. And when it finally speaks, it doesn't say, "I'm here." It says, "It's too late." That's why you must listen now when it's still quiet. Because this is the moment you can still do something about it. You can still bring it down. You can still save your heart, your brain, your strength, your life. My friend, let's talk about something many men don't like to admit, that quiet moment when you feel something is wrong inside you. But instead of taking action, you say, "Let me just pray about it." I've heard those words countless times. And every time I do, I pause, not because prayer is wrong, but because of what comes after. You see, prayer is a beautiful thing. It's powerful. It connects you with peace, gives your heart a rhythm that no medicine can match. When a man kneels down and prays, something inside him softens. The fear, the tension, the anger, they all begin to calm down. And believe me, that calmness can truly help your heart. It lowers your stress hormones, slows your pulse, and brings your blood pressure down a little. That's the miracle of peace, not magic, but science working hand in hand with faith. But here's where many of us go wrong. We mistake that feeling of peace for healing itself. You pray, you feel calm, you sleep well that night, and you say, "I think I'm fine now." And slowly, you stop checking your pressure. You stop taking your medicine. You start living as if the calmness meant the danger was gone. But my brother, that's like a man whose house is on fire. He prays, feels comforted, but never picks up the bucket of water. Faith was never meant to replace action. It was meant to guide it. You pray so that your mind is clear enough to make the right move. You pray for strength, and then you use that strength to go see your doctor, to take your pills, to change your habits, to stay alive for your family. I know some people may tell you, if you truly believe, you don't need those drugs. But let me ask you this. When your child is hungry, do you just pray and refuse to cook? No. You pray and you cook. You pray and you feed him. Because faith works best when your hands are busy doing the work that matches your prayer. The same goes for your health. You can pray for healing, and you should, but don't let that stop you from acting on what God already placed in front of you. Knowledge, medicine, doctors, wisdom, and understanding. If your car engine starts smoking, you don't lay hands on the hood and drive on. You pray for safety, and you stop to fix it before it explodes. That's not doubt. That's wisdom. So when it comes to your blood pressure, pray for peace, yes. Pray for calm. Pray for the discipline to stay consistent. But then act, because peace keeps your mind steady, while action keeps your heart beating. And one without the other is incomplete. I've seen men who waited too long, who said, "I'll be fine," or "It's just stress," or "I'm praying, I believe it will go down." And then one day, their families come rushing them to the emergency room, blood pressure sky high, chest pounding, face pale. And they look at me weak and sweating and whisper, "Doctor, I thought I was okay." That's why I'm telling you today, don't confuse faith with delay. Don't mistake comfort for cure. When prayer gives you peace, let that peace push you into wise action. Let it guide you to do what's right for your health, not replace it. Because God gave you both, the spirit to believe and the sense to act. And when those two walk together, you live longer, you live stronger, and you live with purpose. Now listen to me, my friend. There's a moment when waiting becomes dangerous, when your body is quietly begging you to act. And that's the line between being strong and being stubborn. I've seen men cross that line, not because they wanted to die early, but because they didn't know when to go. They thought strength meant enduring it, holding it in, pretending to be fine. But real strength is knowing when to ask for help. Let me tell you this from my heart. Your body speaks to you long before it breaks down. It doesn't shout at first, it whispers. You just have to listen. If you ever find yourself having frequent headaches that feel heavy or strange, Not like your usual kind. Listen. If your vision suddenly blurs, or your eyes feel strained, or you notice little flashes or dizziness when you stand up, listen. If your chest feels tight or heavy, even for a few seconds, don't ignore it. That could be your heart crying out, "I'm tired." If you feel your heart racing for no reason, or you wake up at night with your pulse pounding, or you get out of breath doing simple things that used to be easy, listen. That's not age, my friend. That's a warning. And if you ever feel weakness on one side of your face, arm, or leg, even if it lasts just a few seconds, or you suddenly can't speak clearly, or the words come out twisted, that's not the time to pray and wait. That's the time to move. That's the time to go. Go to the hospital. Go now. Because blood pressure can explode silently inside you. And when it does, seconds matter. You see, there's a dangerous illusion that kills many men. The illusion of "I'll be fine." They say, "I just need rest." Or "I'll check it next week." And that next week never comes. I once treated a man, strong, disciplined, proud. He said, "Doctor, I don't like hospitals. I pray, I rest, I don't want medicine." For a while, he looked fine. He even bragged, "I feel young again." Then one morning, his wife found him slumped beside the bed. His blood pressure had spiked overnight. He didn't get that second chance. That's the part that breaks my heart. Because this isn't about weakness, it's about wisdom. Wisdom to understand that sometimes the only difference between a miracle and a tragedy is timing. Prayer is powerful, but the hospital has oxygen, medicine, and machines that can bring your heart back when it slips. Prayer brings peace to your spirit, but the doctor's hands, guided by knowledge, can keep your blood flowing while you're still alive to say thank you. And here's something I tell every man who sits across from me. Go before you have to be carried there. Go when you can still walk. Go when your body gives you those early signs. Go when you can still make your own decisions. Because when you act early, you stay in control. But when you wait too long, you give that control away, to the disease, to fate, to what could have been prevented. So my friend, let's make a deal today. Let's stop calling every ache just age. Let's stop saying, "I'll be fine." Let's start saying, "Let me check." Let's start saying, "Let me be sure." Because wisdom is not fear, it's survival. And survival is what your loved ones are praying for, even when you're too proud to say it. You see, prayer gives you peace. But the doctor gives you time to keep living, loving, laughing, and growing old gracefully. So don't wait until it's too late to combine both. Go early, go strong, go alive. My friend, the most dangerous thing about high blood pressure is not what you feel. It's what you don't feel. It's called the silent killer for a reason. It doesn't come with loud warning signs or sharp pains at first. It sneaks in quietly, hides behind your smile, behind your busy days, and starts its slow work in the dark. I've seen men walk around looking strong, chest out, head high, but inside, their blood vessels are being slowly scarred by the very pressure pushing through them. You can't see it, but it's happening. Every beat of the heart that pumps against too much pressure leaves a mark. It's like a hose that's being squeezed too tight. After a while, the walls start to weaken. And once those walls give way, that's when a stroke or heart failure or kidney damage shows up, suddenly but not suddenly at all. Because it's been building for years quietly. Sometimes the first sign is just feeling tired all the time. Or your legs start swelling after a long day. Or your sleep gets restless. You wake up tired even though you went to bed early. You tell yourself it's stress or age, but it's not. It's your blood vessels struggling to keep up. That slow, quiet damage can touch everything. Your heart, your brain, your kidneys, even your manhood. Yes, even that part of your life that makes you feel alive, confident, connected. Because when blood pressure stays high for too long, it damages the very circulation that keeps a man's strength flowing. And suddenly you start losing that fire, that energy, that spark, not because your desire is gone, but because your body can't deliver the message anymore. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means your body is tired of fighting alone. And the worst part, you don't always notice until it's far gone. That's why I tell every man, don't wait for pain to tell you something's wrong. Pain is the body's final warning, not its first. When your car's oil light comes on, you don't wait for the engine to smoke before you fix it. So why wait for your body to crash before you check it? If you could see what I've seen, the quiet damage, the tiny ruptures, the swollen hearts, you would never say, "I feel fine" again without checking your numbers. That's why I always say, knowing your blood pressure is not fear, it's power. Because once you know it, you can fight it, you can fix it, you can live longer, stronger, and in peace, not guessing, not hoping, but knowing. You can still pray, yes. But let that prayer be for healing after you've taken the step to protect yourself. Let it be gratitude that you found out early, not sorrow that you waited too long. Because high blood pressure is not the enemy. Ignorance is. And the sooner you shine light on it, the weaker it becomes. Now that we've talked about what blood pressure does quietly, let's talk about what you can do loudly, right now, today. Because my friend, you're not powerless. You're not too old, too late, or too far gone. Your body is still listening to you. It just needs a little guidance, a little care, to find its rhythm again. The first thing I tell my patients is simple. Start with peace. Not pills, not pressure, peace. Take 5 minutes every morning before you reach for your phone or coffee. Just sit. Breathe slowly. Let your heart settle before the world starts calling your name. You'd be amazed how much that alone can drop your pressure. Because your heart listens to your emotions before it listens to your medicine. Then move your body gently but daily. You don't need a gym or a trainer. A simple walk, 20 to 30 minutes a day, is one of the most powerful medicines ever discovered. It opens your vessels, burns stress hormones, and helps your blood pressure find balance again. You can pray while walking. You can reflect. You can breathe. That's healing for both body and spirit. Next, watch your salt, but don't punish your food. Salt pulls water into your blood, and that pressure builds up in your veins like air in a tire. So reduce the extra salt, especially the hidden ones, in canned food, instant soups, and processed meats. Replace it with herbs, lemon, ginger, or garlic. Your tongue will adjust, and your heart will thank you. And drink water. Not sugary drinks, not soda, not too much alcohol, just clean water. Your kidneys are your pressure regulators. When they're hydrated, they can keep balance naturally. Now watch your thoughts. Because blood pressure rises not only from what you eat, but from what you hold in your heart. Anger, resentment, constant worry, they squeeze your arteries tighter than salt ever could. So forgive, let go, breathe. That's not weakness, that's strength that saves lives. And here's something most men forget. Sleep is medicine. When you stay up all night worrying, your blood pressure never resets. Your heart needs rest as much as your spirit does. So go to bed earlier, keep your room cool, and let your body recharge. Healing happens when you sleep. Finally, know your numbers. Don't fear the blood pressure monitor. Make it your friend. Check once or twice a week. Write it down. If it stays high, that's not failure, that's information. Information that helps your doctor help you live longer. And yes, if your blood pressure medicine was prescribed, take it. Don't stop because you feel fine. You feel fine because it's working. That little pill doesn't make you weak. It keeps you strong enough to live long enough to enjoy your prayers being answered. So here's the truth, my friend. Prayer without action is hope without a plan. But prayer with discipline, prayer with care, prayer with knowledge, that's power. That's faith that moves not just mountains, but pressure too. So start today. Start small. Start with one walk, one good meal, one calm morning, one deep breath. Start with gratitude that you still can. Because the body heals in steps, and every step you take toward balance, the body walks with you. And before long, you'll notice it. You'll breathe easier, sleep better, feel lighter. And somewhere deep inside, you'll know, you didn't just pray for healing, you partnered with it. High blood pressure doesn't have to be your end, but it will be if you leave it unattended. So the next time your heart races or your head feels heavy, don't say it's nothing. Don't say, I'll just pray about it. Say instead, I'll pray and I'll check. Because one prayer with action can save your life, but 1,000 prayers with no action can't bring it back once it's gone. So my brother, my friend, my listener, check your blood pressure. Rest more. Let go of anger. Take your medicine. And keep your faith close, but your doctor closer. Because both can work hand in hand. One keeps your spirit alive. The other keeps your heart beating. And that's the balance of a wise man.